Today's daily recap is for BTG Beyond the Gates Friday, July 25th, 2025. It was an okay Friday. No real cliffhanger. Here's the deal. This is what I loved. Supermodel Danny. That woman is gorgeous. I even like the days when she was on The Bold and the Beautiful and she was Forrester Creations top model. She's gorgeous. I mean, and eats up the camera still. Yes, she's an actress, but you just see it. Now, Pamela came to her. She had uh preliminary inked up some contracts with a number of clients that want Danny to be the spokesmodel for their products. Now, Danny's apprehensive, and she's like, look, Pamela, I'm not stupid. I look in the mirror and I see my looks are not what they were when I was younger. Neither is my body. And I'm looking at her body when Danny's in anything, and I'm like, well, how could it have been any different? Because that body still looks like the body of a 20-year-old, right? You know, don't look like my body at 60, mid 60. But anyway, um, Pamela said, look at these numbers. So she hands her the tablet, and Danny said, why are these numbers so high? They said, Danny, she says, you're a supermodel. They know you still have it. The target market they are going after are women around your age demographic that still want to look fabulous, that still wants to just dress up and look glamorous. And that's you, Danny. You show that women our age still got it. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. She goes, you know what? I kind of figured you'd say that. So I bought in reinforcements. And Danny's like, reinforcements? And so Pamela goes, reinforcements? And Andre comes into the room. And they do a photo shoot. Pamela takes her back, changes her clothes, and she goes, you want to do this now? Pam says, not now, when? Yeah, now. And so Andre's like, Danny, you got this, and I got you. So Danny says, you know what? Let's do this. And she flipped that switch. And man, I was looking at those poses she was striking, and I said, she's a winner. If I was any kind of company that wanted her to promote my products, I would know she's a winner. If I'm a modeling agency, I would want her as one of my top models. She's a winner. Sass, attitude, glam, everything. So I was really happy with that. And let's face it, Danny's going to take the spot, and she should. She loves attention. She was living vicariously through her daughter, Chelsea, because, like Pamela told her, Danny, you were in the height of your career on the runway when Bill Hamilton wanted you off the runway and on his arm. And you gave up and sacrificed everything for what he wanted. He's gone. Your whole circumstances changed. Let's get what you want, right? So Danny just looked at her. I'm loving it. And you want to know what's going to happen, everybody? Especially after the Haley sham of a pregnancy comes out. Bill's going to see all these hot supermodel pictures of Danny. and the whole nostalgia. And you know what? It may even be before. Well, no, Haley can't play this I'm pregnant game too much longer because they're still hitting the sheets. He ain't feeling no baby bump. As a matter of fact, he should be able to feel the baby fluttering. You notice she ain't saying, Bill, 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 oh, Bill, come feel that. No, see, that ain't happening. So he's going to look at these pictures of Danny and it's going to set Bill back 30 years to realizing that's the woman I want. Or wanted, and she's still looking good. So I was really liking that photo shoot. Now, Naomi meets with June. June told her, I'm taking you to lunch. And she goes, June, no, she goes, no, you've taken me enough. I'm taking you. So she calls the waitress over and she gives her some kind of Monopoly play money. It wasn't Monopoly money, but play money, money that wasn't our money. It might be money in a foreign country, but it ain't our money. And the waitress she goes, what? And Naomi looked at her like, she goes, you know what, June? You're paying for lunch, but I'm paying for the tip. She goes, okay then. Naomi hands her black card, her credit card, and she looks at the waitress, and the waitress, okay, yeah. But see, here's the thing. June will try to go to any kind of store with that play money and get violent and irate when they don't accept it because it's not real currency. So I understand what Naomi did. She wanted to save face, but I see that as getting June into trouble later because June is going to go back to Orphy Jeans and say, well, you took it last time. My money was good enough for you last time. See, there should be, she should have tactfully said, June, I understand, you know, you got this, you think it's real money. I don't know if somebody told you it was real money, but let me show you what real money looks like and take the money out of her purse if she carries money. Because you know what, y'all? It's rare to catch me with actual physical dirty dollars in my wallet. I'm a digital person. But anyway, if she had them, she could show June. This is what money looks like, June. So this way, June don't try to say, because it's a mess. It'll be a hot mess. She tried to come back to Orphy Jeans or anywhere else with that money. That's my opinion on that. So Jacob meets her there, and Naomi. June left. Oh, but before Jacob gets there, Haley comes storming in, needing to speak to her. Said, I have to ask you a question. She goes, Haley, I mean, really? She goes, yes, really, Naomi. I need your help. It's about my husband, your father. Did he commit a murder? And Naomi's like, wait, what? Nicole Richardson came over to our house last night saying something about Bill and something about being a murderer. And Naomi said, uh, for one thing, my Aunt Nicole came over to your house. And she goes, yes. She says, I honestly don't know what she could be talking about. She says, and why are you coming to me with this? Why are you not talking to your husband? Because Bill is very busy, or he's acting like he's very busy, like he doesn't want to, take any time with me because he knows I'm going to ask him about it. She says, I can't help you with that. She says, and again, why would you come to me? Because you're his favorite. And he would confide in you. She says, well, you know what? You give me more credit. Then that's there. My father hasn't confided in me in a long time, since before you came along. And Haley looked at her. She goes, of course you would turn it right around to that, Naomi. She says, how else is it, Haley? She says, I can't help it if my father is shutting you out. but, or keeping you in the dark. But still, that's something for you to ask my father. That's something that if you guys don't have that kind of communications, that says a lot or not a lot about what your marriage is all about. She says, so again, I don't know. My father doesn't confide in me. Get him to talk to you. So then Haley comes back and she asks Bill about it later because he was on his way rushing out the office in the morning with Tomas. Big important, had to go to court. So that's what she tracked Naomi down. But now Bill's back. And she goes, Bill, you got a minute? For you, baby, anything. So she's asking about it. And he goes, no, that Nicole was overreacting. Something happened 2 years ago. It wasn't a murder. It was an accident. She's just, he polished it over and said, baby, this is just stuff that you don't even need to worry your head about. And so she's like, well, I just hate for when people come in and they do blah, blah, blah. He goes, no, I understand and I know. He says, but this is, sometimes I'm only going to tell you what you really need to know. I'm not going to just bog you down with mundane details. And she goes, no, Bill, you know what? I understand. And I'm okay with it because I know you're here to protect me and our unborn Hamilton, that we are the most important things to you. And he's looking like, wow, you're that understanding? She goes, yes, yes. Okay, I understand. And she said, because look, I know, nobody can pull anything over the almighty Bill Hamilton. And he's just looking at her. It's fun. It was interesting. I didn't get the look he gave her. Kind of like, is he starting to think, chick, are you really pregnant? I ain't that stupid, right? Now, anybody in comment corner, did you notice the look Bill gave Haley when she said that? And if you noticed it, what do you think about it? What do you think that look was about? Okay, so now, what I did not like is Tomas. Cat calls him over. And of course, he almost said the identical things he said to Eva. Cat says, look, bottom line, I would be first. I'm center. I'm not here to, he goes, Cat, I don't know where I stand with you. He said, part of me thinks you only want me just to one up your sister Eva. And she says, that is not what it's like, what it's about at all, Tomas. You know? And so he says, I don't know because it's like sometimes I get mixed signals. And she goes, yes, I know a lot of things have happened in my anger with the situations with my family. I know I might blend it into other things. I know I can be a bit much, really. So that makes it okay. But anyway, she's like, no, I want you for you. You should know that. I offered myself to you before. You're the one that stopped. So let me make myself clear. So she kisses him, all into it. And he's like, ooh. And I'm thinking, Tomas, you just want to hit the sack with her or her sister. Because Eva was the one that had to stop you last night. And here you are telling her sister she's all you ever want. Told Cat, no, you are the center of my world. You told Eva she wouldn't be second, she'd be the center. And I thought, okay, Tomas is player. Here we go, player. So Cat says, no, if you want me, you could have all of me. So they hit the sheets hot and heavy. And at the end, Tomas is behind Cat, kissing her on the back of her neck and shoulder. And Cat's laying there. When she thought he could see her, she kind of put on a little smile. As soon as he moved back a bit, she was like, mm. She did it to one up her sister because he said, I swear to you, Cat, nothing happened between Eden. Eva and I did not sleep together before you got there, nor did we sleep together after. Cat is marking her territory, so she thinks. So she thinks. So, and you could see on her face that she was not basking in any kind of afterglow. She's thinking of her next move. She's thinking of how am I going to let Eva know that Tomas and I slept together. That's Cat. And that's exactly what she's going to do. So then Nicole met with her grandchildren at the country club and they had lunch and they were talking about asking her because she talked to Smitty, to Dad, to to have him let Pop move back in and blah blah blah. And Nicole was saying, look, it's going to take them some time to mend those fences, but they will. One thing you two need to know, you are loved more than ever. And we are here for you. Martin tells me how much he really misses you. And they're like, yeah, he texts us all the time. And he tells us that too. But they're like, we feel there's much more that happened than we're being told. And we feel you're not telling us everything, grandmother. And she's like, kids, you're told the most important things. But every little detail, you just don't need to know. The one thing you need to know is your parents' main goal is to keep you safe and that they love you. So they're just looking at like, yeah, okay, And she says, and I have no influence over getting your dad to take your pop back. It doesn't work that way. Only the two of them can work out that relationship. So they were like, okay, grandmother, they believed it or they accepted it, even though they feel there's other stuff that is being kept from them. And that pretty much everybody was it. That was all for today. So let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. We have Cece says, I can't wait until Danny finds out that she was right all along about Haley's pregnancy. Cleo says, I'm having great respect for Bill these days. Bill is so much better without Haley. Yes, he is. Haley doesn't want Bill to be concentrating on her because he will definitely find out she's not pregnant. Bill is preoccupied now, so he's not thinking straight about Haley and this layaway baby. And Leah says, Haley is trying to see if she can get pregnant for real, but keeps getting interrupted. Everyone loves to dump on Bill. I get doing it because of what he did to Danny, but this is not all on him. Nicole is wild for coming to his home and calling him out. My concern is that if Haley finds out, she might leak it to Leslie. Well, Haley's still in the dark. And TG Shy Girl says, Nicole told Martin previously that she couldn't give advice to him because it would be a conflict of interest. Yeah, she did, but you know what? Right now, she already knows. He can't tell another psychiatrist or psychologist about the murders and things like that. He can't. So she knows, she's like, look, I'm going to use my skills to help my son in this case. Just Case says, next time a Dupree, besides his daughters, come to him with a problem, I want him to respond like this. Nicole told me to tell you no, and she's the fixer now. I know, huh? I felt sorry for Bill, in this situation, and he needs to say no to them. And if Vernon threatens his law firm again, I would threaten to throw Martin and everyone under the bus. I thought he would get, he thought he would get a father figure through Vernon, and that was not the case. Go, Eva. I'm glad she stopped to ask Thomas questions and realized that he's still with Cat. She had the intent to be with him, but she did something her mom didn't do. Stopped it. And Cat coming there made her realize who Tomas really is. Do you think Eva will tell Kat how Tomas really is, Daily Recap Lady? No, I don't think she will. I think Kat will throw it in her face. And then she might, if depending on how much Kat throws in her face, Eva might say, girl, please. Only reason why me and Tomas did not sleep together is I told him no. She might. Um, Nikisha says, if I were writing a story, I'd have it so that Haley was pregnant but had a miscarriage and went soap opera crazy and still believes she's pregnant. We'd see flashbacks of her losing the baby alone on the bathroom floor. It would make her more of a layered character. Um, as of now, we never see Haley's perspective. She's just a home wrecker with fake breasts. Oh, are they fake? I don't know. I can't stand her, but if the story was written with more nuance, I could feel bad for her, the way I feel for Danny and Eva. Or they could go full villain route and make Haley like Leslie. We could see some flashbacks of Haley seeking out Naomi as a friend or for the sole purpose of seducing Bill. I love a good villain. They could definitely do that. Tara says, I am so happy that Ava checked Tomas. I need everyone to stop blaming Bill for something they all Conspired to. Roy says, Bill gets no sympathy from me. It it's his decision to do the dirty work. No, he was not following orders. Bill did it because he wanted to do. Haley wants Bill to say no to the Dupree so she can carry out her dirty plans. Haley is no angel either. She's going after Bill's money. Yeah, it's kind of looking that way. And then Karen says, I really hate how they wash their hands of everything and use Bill as a scapegoat. It is that treatment of Bill that probably caused the rift with Danny in the first place. He was probably so resentful of Vernon after the first Martin thing that he found an escape in Haley. And Black Purple Turquoise says Haley and her childish, foolish little girl self should really get out of the way before things pop off between Nicole and Bill. The audacity to say, get the heck out of my house. Girl, be quiet and go sit down and worry about your fake baby growing inside your belly. She's not 12 months pregnant, anything. She's faking the entire pregnancy, not sure what her end game is, but she sure got one about her. This is all good for Bill, though. I can't stand him or Haley. She's the second closest definition of insufferable. And of course, he takes the lead in first place. For someone who wants Bill to be with the Dupree, for Bill to be done with the Duprees, Haley sure not wanting to stay out of their business or lives any more than her hubby is. She's full of it, and so is Bill. Thank you for another wonderful recap, Miss Daily Recap Lady. See you back here next week. Tuesday's review will be extra special. Oh, nice. It's your birthday. Oh, okay. So you're saying because it's your birthday. A birthday review. Yay! Yay! Have a lovely weekend, and you have a lovely birthday review. So have a great Tuesday. And then Lucy says, loved every minute of Thursday's episode of Beyond the Gates. And your recap, Lady Comment Corner. And then Denzel brings it on home, saying, at this point, I'm Team Bill on this one because everything what he said to Nicole, everything was just straight facts to Nicole. And now Bill is gonna the villain and be blamed now. If I'm Bill, I wouldn't want nothing to do with the Duprees. Stop helping them and then just move out of the Duprees property since Nicole wants to be the fixer. And everything, go ahead, Nicole. Good luck with that, in my opinion. For Naomi and Jacob's relationship is going to be on the line since Jacob found out everything. He doesn't quite know everything yet. And it's going to cost their marriage too. A great review, daily recaps as always. Um, Bill and Haley, the Duprees don't own the community. Years ago, yes, his grandfather founded, was the architect, or was it his father? Can't remember. Father or grandfather was the architect. Those homes now have been sold and resold and everything else. They just are the grand family of the community. They have a permanent name on their favorite little table in the dining room. You see, it says the Duprees, right? For any time they come in, the Duprees. Okay. So anyway, all right, that's it for Comic Corner. Comic Corner. I will be back on Monday with another daily recap for BTG, Beyond the Gates.